On May 3rd, 2026, over 22 lakh students walked into examination halls across India. Some had studied for 6 years. Some had sold their families' jewelry just to afford coaching fees. And almost all of them remembered what happened in 2024, when NEET leaked and an entire generation of students had their futures thrown into chaos.
जिन लोगों ने एग्जाम दे के मेहनत करके 700 मार्क लाने के लिए दिन रात एक करने पड़ते हैं, नेगेटिव मार्किंग का सिस्टम भी होता है, तो उन बच्चों का मानसिक संतुलन भी देखिए, डिप्रेशन में चले जाएंगे बच्चे।
सब कुछ हमने दाव पे लगाया था और ये मेहनत करके आए हैं, तो जिन्होंने चीटिंग की है उनको ही दिलवाओ, हम रीनीट नहीं होनी चाहिए फिर से।
It won't be possible to score good after a gap of 1.5 months if there is a reneat. It's like playing with our futures.
2 years later, they were back. Because in India, there is no backup plan. There is only NEET. The NTA knew it had to look different this time. GPS tracked vehicles, AI monitored cameras, biometric scanners, 5G jammers, digital locks open only by one-time passwords. But investigators now believe the paper had already been circulating for nearly 45 hours before the first student sat down. Not because the security failed, but because the leak happened before security even switched on. The NTA called NEET 2026 one of the safest exams India had ever conducted. And from the outside, it looked exactly that way. Long frisking queues, biometric verification, police guarded strong rooms, GPS trucks moving through the night. It looked militarized. But every security system is built on assumptions. And the NTA's entire architecture rested on one: that the paper would stay clean until printing was complete. Investigators now believe that assumption was wrong. Because the alleged breach didn't happen during transport. It didn't happen at exam centers. According to the probe, it happened at the printing facility in Nashik, before the trunks were sealed, before the trucks rolled out, before any of the visible security theater began. The system was guarding the exit, but the paper had already left through the entrance. To understand why this market exists, you need to understand what a government medical seat in India is actually worth. In 2026, over 22 lakh students competed for roughly 1.18 lakh MBBS seats. Government seats are far fewer, and for millions of middle-class families, getting one isn't about prestige, it's about survival. A private medical degree can cost over 1 crore rupees. For families without that kind of money, one exam score becomes the hinge point of everything. Loans, land sales, retirement savings, entire futures compressed into a single morning in May. Where scarcity is this extreme, black markets don't just emerge, they thrive. Investigators allege that copies of the paper traveled through a distribution network spanning multiple states: Nashik, Bhopal, Haryana, Rajasthan. And here's the detail that tells you how calculated this was. The paper was reportedly transcribed by hand first, not photocopied, not photographed, handwritten. Because handwriting leaves no trace, no printer signature, no digital watermark, no forensic metadata, just ink on paper, moving invisibly through networks of medical students, hostel operators, and coaching contacts, eventually reaching Rajasthan and specifically Sikar. A few years ago, Sikar was just another town in Rajasthan. Today, entire buildings are plastered floor to ceiling with coaching advertisements. Hostel windows glow past midnight. Students from Bihar, Kerala, Telangana, and UP are crammed into small rented rooms, all chasing the same score. Kota built this model. Sikar inherited it. Inside these coaching ecosystems, guest papers are completely normal. Every institute produces them. Predicted questions, expected topics, likely patterns. Students swapped them constantly in the days before an exam, which created the perfect camouflage. Investigators say the leaked NEET paper didn't circulate as a leaked paper. It circulated as a model paper. Just another coaching handout. Just another prediction sheet. In a country already saturated with fake Telegram leak groups and exam fraud noise,
NDTV has exclusively accessed one such Telegram channel where tall claims were made that the NEET paper would be supplied to students in exchange for money, thousands of rupees. Now this poses serious questions on how these groups continue to operate online so openly.
the real paper simply disappeared into the background until after the exam. That's when a coaching teacher reportedly placed the handwritten document next to the actual question paper. All 90 biology questions matched. All 45 chemistry questions matched. Even punctuation sequences were identical. This was no longer prediction. This was access. The most disturbing part came next, because eventually, the investigation reportedly moved past distributors and coaching networks and reached people connected to the exam creation process itself. Investigators allege that individuals associated with the question setting committee dictated actual questions to select students weeks before the exam. Not stolen during transport, not intercepted at a printing press, given before the paper had even entered the security chain. Suddenly, all the visible infrastructure looks different. The biometric scanners, the GPS trucks, the police escorts, the digital locks. All of it was designed to stop someone from stealing the paper after it was created. But if the compromise happened at creation, none of that downstream security means anything. The paper was already contaminated. The system wasn't breached. It was bypassed before it ever switched on. And this is where the story becomes bigger than NEET. India has seen versions of this before. Paper leaks, impersonation rackets, nationwide exam fraud. The response is always the same. More surveillance, more checkpoints, more visible security. But the fundamental architecture never changes. One paper, one day. Millions competing simultaneously. Massive financial incentives. And one breach capable of collapsing the entire system in a single stroke. Other countries dealing with similar scale have shifted to adaptive digital testing. Large encrypted question banks, randomized papers per candidate, no single point of failure. Indian committees have recommended this after earlier controversies. But as of 2026, the system remained largely unchanged. And so did the incentives around breaking it. Right now, new NEET batches are already filling coaching cities. Fresh timetables are being photocopied. Parents are taking new loans. Another exam cycle is being assembled around a single date in May. The printing contracts will be signed. The transport routes assigned. The GPS trucks loaded before sunrise. And somewhere in that chain, the next vulnerability may already exist. Because the terrifying thing about the NEET 2026 leak isn't that someone defeated an ultra-secure system. It's that the system may have been protecting the wrong place the entire time. If this video made you think, subscribe to Periscope for more deep dives into the systems, power, and hidden mechanics shaping India. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Can India's competitive exams ever truly become leak-proof? See you in the next one.